Let's talk about method acting and why it's so stupid.
It's been almost 2 years since I shared that inflammatory rant, and people are talking about method acting again, and I have more thoughts. Method acting is when someone goes to extreme lengths to recreate the circumstances of a character in order to best portray that character. For example, Dustin Hoffman played an exhausted person once, so he stayed up for 72 hours before filming those exhausted scenes. And legend has it that led to Laurence Olivier saying, "My dear boy, why don't you just try acting?" Method actors also often stay in character for the entirety of the duration that they are working on that project. Method acting to me suggests a fundamental lack of empathy. Some of the best actors are just highly empathetic people who cry easily, tears of sorrow or tears of joy for complete strangers. Acting is just putting yourself in someone else's shoes, and some people do that quite naturally. If you need to experience exactly what your character experienced before you can conjure the emotions that they might have felt, then maybe you just aren't that empathetic. It's also for the awards. Acting awards are kind of silly in my opinion because every year there are so many excellent performances in film and television. Art is subjective, and the panels of people who decide who gets nominated and who wins these awards are biased individuals. They are the friends and colleagues of the nominees. And if someone has been talking to every press outlet that will listen about how much they struggled to portray a role, chances are the people who decide who gets nominated for these awards know about that struggle. At least 14 Best Actress and Best Supporting Actress Oscar winners since the beginning of the Oscars have portrayed workers. They were rewarded not just for having a great performance, but for quite literally giving their bodies to the craft, and are also rewarded for giving their bodies to the craft. That just tends to look different than it does for women. Hey, are y'all okay? I just saw on the news that there was a burglary at a 7-Eleven 45 miles away from y'all, and they said that there were no injuries, but they were just talking about physical injuries. You know, they weren't talking about mental injuries from seeing something like that. Does Danny still play with that choo-choo train with a wooden track? Because there was a recall on something similar because the wheels kept popping off and the kids kept choking on the wheels. I know that he's 15, but boys will be boys. You haven't been leaving food outside, have you? Okay, because I just saw this video of these 2 baby bears playing on a swing set, and it was cute and all, but I just kept thinking how that could have gone so horribly wrong so quickly. I know that there aren't bears naturally where you live, but animals escape from the zoo probably every single day. I had a dream that you and Marcus had this horrible fight because he kept leaving his retainer in the sink and you kept using butter to wash the windows, and I just want to make sure everything's good between the two of y'all. Okay, just do me a favor and hold each other tight tonight, okay? Let me know if I can be of any assistance, darling. I'm just looking. Of course, no pressure at all. Ah, I see you've spotted the Ophelias. Those earrings were actually carved from a pair of wine corks, believe it or not. I believe it. Yes, well, I made those during a very dark time in my life. I'm sure you can feel the pain radiating off of them. You must hold a great deal of pain yourself to be drawn to them. I was going through my second divorce and living in my father's tool shed and abusing Dayquil almost every single day and drinking copious amounts of wine almost every single night. One night, I was holding 2 wine corks in my hands and the image of a pigeon came to my mind, and it occurred to me that I have a great deal in common with the pigeon. Pigeons were domesticated and then abandoned by society, and I was domesticated by my husband and then abandoned. So I carved 2 pigeons out of the wine corks, and thus the Ophelias were born. They don't look like pigeons. Yes, well, abstract pigeons. Would you like to purchase them? I might come back later. Well, I might not be here later. I might be dead. Okay, I'm here to pick up my prescription.
Barcode?
What?
Barcode?
What barcode?
On the app.
I've never heard of the app.
Your lies, they wound me.
I don't have the app.
Boo.
I'm sorry?
You're not sorry. If you were sorry, you would change.
Okay, well, I still need my prescription.
We don't have it.
How do you know? You don't even know my name.
I know your name. You tell it to me every month, right after you pretend that you don't know about the app.
Okay, well, why don't you have it?
There's a problem with your insurance.
What's the problem?
They don't wanna.
They don't wanna?
They don't wanna give you any more drugs because you don't need them.
But I do need them.
Prove it.
Prove it?
Beg.
Excuse me?
If you really needed your drugs, you would call your insurance company and you would beg.
Hey, I'm just dropping these off for my daughter's birthday.
That's an awful lot of cake pops, ma'am. Unless your daughter is a golden retriever, I doubt very seriously that she would be able to consume all of those in one sitting. Lunch is only 15 minutes after all.
They're not just for her, they're for the whole class.
And from whence did you acquire those cake pops?
They're homemade.
You want me to let you bring homemade cake pops into my skill?
Yeah.
Ma'am, I would sooner let you bring a crossbow into the classroom. At least that would be educational.
I don't get what the problem is.
The problem is, I don't know what goes on in your home. You might be perfectly sanitary, but you also might be one of those people that only washes their hands after a number 2. You and your husband might be one of those freaky couples that treats the kitchen countertops like a second bed. Heck, for all I know, you might be a cat owner. So forgive me for not letting you bring your salmonella balls into my skill.
Wow. Okay.
Ma'am, wait. You can leave those with me.
Really?
Yeah. Just because the children can't be happy doesn't mean that nobody should be happy. I'll put those in the teacher's lounge. They'll be a huge hit. Grady's birthday cookies certainly were.
Sit down, Nicholas. We need to talk.
All right, let me just grab a milk first.
No milk. I need you coherent for this conversation.
Okay, jeez.
I can't do this anymore, Nick.
Can't do what?
All of it. Any of it. I agreed to move out here to the middle of frostbitten nowhere for your job because you promised me that we would be a team, Nikki. But we are not a team. You spend all day either sleeping or in your barn, polishing your sleigh, or brushing one of your precious reindeer.
The reindeer love you.
This isn't about the jingle jangle reindeer, Nick. I'm so lonely and so bored. I don't have any friends. I've tried bonding with the elves, but they can't be themselves around the boss's wife. And I can't do any of my hobbies here. I can't garden. What on earth would grow in this climate? And I can't play pickleball because there's no one here big enough to hold the racket.
Come on, Mrs. Claus.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. When's the last time you or anyone else called me by my first name? Do you even remember what my first name is, Nicholas?
Baby.
I want a divorce. Thanks for making dinner. It was delicious. No, not really. It was pasta from a box and the sauce was like 5 ingredients and I bought the asparagus at a store. I didn't even grow it. I thought it was great. Best meal I've had in ages.
You're lying.
No, I liked the food. Okay, well, then I feel sorry for you because you must have a sad life with sad, sad food if you thought that the stupid food that I made was good. I love your dress.
This dress?
Yeah, of course. It's so old and not in a vintage way. It's literally falling apart. It's basically like a pile of rags at this point, and it doesn't fit me at all, and it smells. I just think it's cute. Okay, well, it's factually not, so I don't know what's wrong with you. Maybe you just have bad taste. You're beautiful, by the way. No, I'm not. I'm literally the opposite of beautiful. I'm like a gargoyle. I'm like a sentient pile of trash. Why would you say that? You're beautiful. No, I'm literally not. Maybe you should get your eyes checked or your brain checked, or stop hanging out with so many ugly people that you think that I'm beautiful in comparison. Mrs. Donovan, you have visitors.
I don't feel like talking to anyone. Tell them I'm dead. I'm pretty sure it's the truth. Only the devil himself could dream up a place as depressing as this.
Hi, Grandma.
Who are you and why did you eat my granddaughter?
Are you having a good day?
Seriously, when did you get to be so fat? I haven't seen someone this big since your aunt blew up like a Macy's Thanksgiving Day balloon back in '92. She blamed it on her pregnancy, but last I checked, you don't carry the baby in your thighs.
Can I get you anything?
I'll take one of the Italian submarine sandwiches you must keep in your pocketbook. How many of those do you have to eat a day to maintain this physique? 6? 7?
Hey, Grandma.
Tyler, I thought I smelled drugs and disappointment. What are you doing here? Surely there's an alleyway that's missing your presence.
How are you?
Same as you. Miserable, useless, a completely unproductive member of society. But unlike you, I'll have the decency to die before I've entirely drained my family's resources.
Wow, Holly, this place looks great. You didn't have to go through all this trouble for me.
It was just a tiny bit of tidying. It was hardly an ordeal.
Even so, I hope you didn't have to do everything by yourself. I know just how distractible my Tommy can get.
I managed just fine.
Where is my Tommy? You'd think you'd want to greet his poor old mother.
Oh, I'm sure he's around here somewhere. Your guess is as good as mine.
Can I help you with anything in the kitchen? My hands may not be as steady as they used to be, but I'm sure I could peel a potato if I had to.
No, please. I've got it all covered. You just sit down and relax.
Are you sure? I hate to be a burden.
You could never be a burden, Virginia.
Alrighty, well, I think I'll just sit down right here at the counter in case you need anything.
Thomas, your mother is here. Come say hi.